Did a lot of people come up to you afterwards and say, after they read the book, I didn't realize that Sean played such a pivotal part?
Well, everyone but Sean. Sean knew he played Bill, but Sean's an interesting individual. I don't know if you know Sean Parker, but yeah, he's a pretty wild guy. I think most people, have two opinions of Sean. Some people think he's just crazy or, a snake oil salesman. That's what Eduardo thought of him. Eduardo thought of him as the shiesty guy. On the other hand, he's a genius. He started company after company after company. I think he's a complicated individual. I think people didn't know a lot of that story before the book or the movie came out. And Mark still maintains that a lot of the movie is not true. I maintain that it is true. It's from Eduardo's perspective more than it is from Mark's. But I do think that a lot of that story was unknown before it came out.
But in being fair to you, he had every opportunity.
Oh yeah,
to speak to you, and if he was worried about Eduardo, he could have easily diluted or responded to it at any time through surrogates or directly to you and challenged Eduardo's story.
Yeah, listen, he could have talked to me at any point, but listen, it's his right also not to talk to me. He didn't know me, he didn't know what I was going to write, he knew I write thrillers, so he knew it was going to be somewhat thriller-esque. But in general, I think it's a very fair representation of the story, and I don't think it's negative towards Mark in any way. If anything, it's positive towards Mark.
So when you first start writing it, how big is Facebook at that time?
It was 150 million users. Now it's billions. It was mostly college at that point. It wasn't the rest of the world so much. Adults were getting onto it more. I knew about it because my wife was on it all the time, and she was, posting pictures of parties that I was at that I didn't know, were on the internet and things like that. And I was like, what is this Facebook thing? I had one friend who had dumped a boyfriend because she saw all these Facebook pictures of him with another girl, and I was like, this is an intriguing social thing going on. But it wasn't this huge thing that was changing our social lives like it is today. So it was one of those things where it wasn't really about Facebook. It was a story about two best friends who built something together and then they fell apart. And I think that's what Aaron Sorkin captured so well, is it could have been about anything. Sorkin didn't know anything about Facebook when he wrote that story. It wasn't about that. It was really about two friends in a dorm room who'd do something great.